Lucy worked as a librarian and loved her job very much. One day, a handsome guy whose name was Rob came to her library. They had a brief conversation and he left 10 minutes later. Then, Lucy went to the reading room and noticed that the most expensive book was missing.
Oh no!
She asked 3 visitors, "What were you doing during the last 10 minutes?" Rosie said that she had been doing her homework. Rick said, "I was in the restroom when the theft happened." And Violet was looking through architecture magazines for her art project. Who stole the book? Rick. He started making excuses, although Lucy didn't even tell the visitors that the book was missing. Lucy exposed the thief, but Rick ran away. Lucy ran after him down the street. He decided to hide in a women's clothing store. When Lucy ran into the dressing room, she saw 3 pairs of feet. Can you help her find Rick? These feet are too big, and Rick's blue coat is on the floor. When Lucy caught Rick, he promised to return the book if she managed to crack his riddle. "I'm easy to waste, and I'm unstoppable. What am I?" A few minutes later, Lucy gave him her answer. Rick threw the book into her hands and ran away. What did she say? Time. Lucy opened the book and immediately realized that it was fake. How? Take a look at the color and quality of the paper. It's white, while the original book was very old, and the paper was yellowish. Lucy came to the police station to tell them about the theft. She met 3 uniformed police officers, but one of them was a fake. Who? The third guy. Take a look at the wall. His portrait hangs on the board with wanted criminals. The police officers promised Lucy to start an investigation as soon as they take care of more serious crimes. But Lucy didn't want to waste time. She decided to do her own research. She went to a party for rich collectors of antiques. The guards refused to let her in because she didn't have an invitation. So, Lucy came up to 3 men in the parking lot nearby. They had invitations. Lucy's plan was to join one of them as a +1 guest. The guys wanted to impress Lucy and began to discuss their new cars. Josh said, "I wanted my car to be special, so I bought this one." Liam said that since he was a beginner, he purchased a cheap used car. And Henry said that he bought a big car because he had a lot of friends. Lucy realized that one of the guys was lying. Who? Josh. The logo on his car key doesn't match the logo on his car. The guard recognized Lucy and refused to let her in again. But she didn't give up and walked around the building. She noticed a metal door. It was locked and required a 16-digit code. She found this note next to the door. 328541. Can you help Lucy crack the code? It's 222-5555555551111. She literally needs to enter 3 2s, 8 5s, and 4 1s. Finally, Lucy unlocked the door and entered the building. She saw 2 beautiful rooms. Suddenly, she met a scared waiter. She told Lucy that one of those rooms belonged to a vampire. Can you tell which room? This one. It has no windows at all. The party was awesome, great music and amazing people, but there was a thief among the guests. Can you guess who it was? This woman on the right is reaching for the man's pocket. Suddenly, Lucy met Rob, the handsome guy from the library. He invited her to dance. Lucy said, "Okay, but first you have to crack my riddle. No matter how little or how much you use me, you can change me every month. What am I?" A few seconds later, Lucy and Rob were dancing together in the middle of the dance floor. So what did Rob answer? "I'm a calendar." Lucy thought 3 collectors were suspicious, so she questioned them. Georgina said, "Don't speak about books, please. I've gone broke recently, so I had to sell my entire book collection." Henry said, "What do you think I am? I only buy antiques from official dealers." And Victor said, "I fell in love with high technologies and got rid of all antiques in my house. Old stuff makes me sick." Who's lying? Victor. If he doesn't like antiques so much, why is he wearing a vintage vest and hat? The party host invited all the guests to the dining room. Lucy wanted to sit next to Rob. Georgina agreed to switch places if Lucy guessed her riddle. "When you don't know what I am, then I am something. But when you know what I am, then I'm nothing. What am I?" Have you guessed? It's a riddle. Waiters brought many dishes with delicious food. Suddenly, one lady exclaimed, "I've lost my diamond earring. Can you help her find it?" "It's over there on the plate with cheese." Rob offered Lucy to play a game. 6 glasses are standing in a line, but only the first 3 are filled with juice. The task is simple. Lucy can touch only 1 glass. Keep in mind that each full glass must be followed by an empty one. How would you solve this riddle? Take the second glass and pour the juice from it into the 5th glass. When the waiters served dessert and coffee, Lucy offered Rob this riddle. "You have 3 empty cups and 10 sugar cubes. You need to distribute these sugar cubes between the cups so that each of them has an odd number of cubes." Rob nailed it. What about you? You should put 3 cubes in the first cup, then put the second cup into the third cup, and put all the remaining 7 cubes inside. Now you have 2 cups, and each of them contains an odd number of sugar cubes. Lucy went to the ladies' room. Suddenly, she felt overwhelming weakness and fell asleep. Lucy woke up in a strange room without windows. There was no one else around. She could see only one exit, the door. But there were huge electric saws spinning in front of this door and blocking her path. Luckily, she found a control panel on the wall, but it was really confusing. One switch turned off the electric saws. One speeded them up, and one turned on rock music. One wrong move, and Lucy will stay in this room forever. Which switch should Lucy press to stop the electric saws? This button. When Lucy got out of the creepy room, she found herself on the roof of a skyscraper that was about to crumble. The only way out was to use one of the elevators. If she chose the first elevator, she'd fall hundreds of feet. Ice-cold water that could freeze any human was behind the second door. A super venomous tick was in the third elevator. And mutated mosquitoes were waiting for Lucy inside the 4th elevator. Just one bite could make her fall asleep forever. Which elevator should she choose? The 3rd elevator. Even though the tick is venomous, she can easily crush it because it's small. When Lucy got out of the building, she saw a group of firefighters. She spotted a fake one among them immediately. Can you see him too? This guy over there. On Monday, Lucy went downstairs to see Rob, and this is what happened. But on Tuesday, she met Rob again, and he looked absolutely fine. How did Rob survive? He's an actor. They were shooting a movie. There's a shadow of a camera in the lower right corner. It was Lucy's first day off, and she went for a walk in the park, but suddenly she received a text message from Rob. He asked her to meet him in the library. She used a car-sharing app to get to the meeting spot, but the car refused to start. It demanded a password to make sure Lucy wasn't a robot. Lucy didn't know what to do, but the system gave her a hint. Soft, hairy, from door to door. I am the pet that always stays on the floor. Have you guessed the password? Carpet. When Lucy arrived at the library, Rob confessed that he had been involved in the book theft. All because the book contained a spell for traveling to parallel universes. He read the spell, and 5 portals appeared in the reading hall. Rob offered Lucy to go through one of the portals and have a walk. You can hear the street noise from the first portal. You can hear the birds singing from the second portal. You can hear leaves rustling from the third portal. There's a sound of rain behind the fourth portal, and you can hear waves from the 5th portal. Which portal did they choose? The third one. The only footprints on the floor lead to this portal. Rob and Lucy found themselves in front of a swamp. Angry wolves noticed them and began to chase the guys. What should they do? Sprint through the swamp? Stay in one place and wait for help? Or walk slowly and try to step on the grass? Running is a bad idea. They'll immediately get pulled into the swamp. They also can't just stop and wait for help because the wolves are nearby. They should move slowly and use a stick to test the path.
Hey there, kiddo. Time to shake the rust off your magnifying glass and put on your detective hat. Yeah, you look good in it, trust me. Ready? Let's go. Luke took part in a scientific experiment, but something went wrong. He ended up in a place where there was nothing but 3 portals. One of them led to a polar desert in Antarctica. The second one opened into a volcanic crater filled with molten lava. And behind the third portal, there was the dinosaur age, with huge diplodocuses roaming around. Which portal should the man choose? Luke would freeze in no time in a polar desert. Molten lava isn't even an option. But diplodocuses are totally harmless to people. They only eat plants. Luke just needs to stay out of their way. Martin was playing tennis with his friend David. At one point, he hit the ball a little bit too hard. The ball flew into the air and fell down a hollow fence post. The post was quite narrow, and the ball barely fit there, but still, it got to the very bottom. Try as he might, Martin couldn't get the ball out of the pipe. Luckily, David had an idea. In no time, the guy helped Martin get the ball back. How did he do it? David used a water hose lying nearby. He filled the pipe with water, and the ball floated up. Once, a prison guard accidentally overheard very disturbing rumors. Someone was planning a prison break. The guard watched all the footage from the surveillance cameras and discovered that 2 women had been behaving suspiciously. One of them was a former bodybuilder, muscular with short hair and covered in tattoos. The other was quiet and reserved. She preferred to spend time on her own. After watching the video several times, the guard managed to figure out which woman was planning to escape. Can you do the same? It's the second prisoner. If you look attentively, you'll notice a file in her bun. She can use it to cut through the metal bars. Rachel called the police early in the morning. When they arrived, she told the officers her story. "I work in a museum. Yesterday, I took home several ancient books. I wanted to do some research. But then a blackout happened. I lit a couple of candles and continued my work. Suddenly, I heard the doorbell ring. When I opened the door, someone in a black mask hit me on the head. When I recovered, the books were gone." Detective Anderson arrested the woman for misreporting. Why? If there had been a blackout, the doorbell wouldn't have been working. Look at these photos. One of them is photoshopped. Can you figure out which one? It's the picture in the middle. The kite is moving in the wrong direction. If the photo was real, the kite would be moving along with the wind in the same direction as the flag. Look at these guys. Who is actually poor? The guy in the blue shirt. Both men are looking into the mirror. But even though in the mirror the guy on the left is a seemingly successful businessman, in reality he's poor. A police officer was patrolling the streets on a winter evening. Suddenly, she saw a person in a black mask sneaking out of a house through the window, who was carrying 2 large bags. The officer realized it was a burglar. She ran after the criminal, but they turned the corner and disappeared. The officer understood the criminal had hidden in one of these houses. But which one? It can't be the house on the left. As you see, there are too many people inside. There are no footprints in the snow leading to the house on the right. It means no one has been there for quite some time, which leaves us with the house in the middle. There are 4 cups on the counter, all of them upturned and hiding the same number of sweets underneath. Near each of the cups, there is a sign that says how many sweets are under it. The signs are 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 6 or 7, and 7 or 5. Only one of these signs is correct. How many sweets are there under each cup? Since only one sign is correct, the right number can't appear twice. Otherwise, more than one sign would be correct. It means that there are 8 sweets under each cup. Mark's math teacher was very displeased with how many classes the guy had missed, but he decided to give the student one last chance. If you solve this riddle, I won't inform your parents. You need to write 45 only using the number 4. How can Mark do it? Like this. 44 divided by 44 plus 44. During which month do people sleep the least? During February. It only has 28 or sometimes 29 days. After a bank had been robbed, the police found a bag with money in the park. It was lying among cacti. The police officers arrested 3 suspects. It didn't take long to figure out who the bank robber was. Do you know who it is? It's the man on the left. He's the only one with some scratches. They must have been left by the cacti. You have 5 pieces of a chain, and each of them is made up of 3 links. You have to make a long chain out of these 5 pieces. Welding an open link will cost you $3, and breaking a link open is $1. Can you make a long chain if you only have $15? First, take one piece of chain and break all of its 3 links open. That'll cost you $3. Then, link the remaining 4 pieces of the chain with these open links. Welding these links will cost you another $9. In total, you'll only pay $12. Thomas was a traveler who needed to get to town X. Sometime into his journey, he reached a fork in the road. He didn't know which road to pick. Only one way led to the town. Luckily, he saw 2 men standing by. The problem was that one of them always lied, and the other one always told the truth. But Thomas didn't know who was who. Even worse, the men were quite unfriendly and agreed to answer only one question. So, which question should it be? The only way to find out the right road is to ask the men, if I asked the person standing next to you which road led to town X, what would his answer be? The liar will point in the wrong direction. The man who always tells the truth will also point in the same wrong direction. This way, Thomas will just need to choose the other road. You're going home in the evening. At one point, you turn the corner and everything goes black. When you come to your senses, you find yourself in a locked room. Next to the door, there's a computer with a keyboard. On the screen, there's a riddle. You have to type the correct answer, and the door will open. The riddle sounds like this. It makes 2 people out of 1. What is it? Can you figure out the answer? The correct answer is a mirror. Joanna made a bet with her friends. She had to go to a deserted house in the middle of their town at night. No one lived there, and the house was supposed to be demolished soon. But rumor had it a mad scientist used that building as his lab. It was about 3 a.m. when the girls saw a large, gloomy building with its entrance door slightly ajar. She entered and saw a huge, dark hallway. Suddenly, someone switched on the light, and Joanna saw a bizarre-looking man in a lab coat. He stood there and stared at her for a few seconds before saying, "Good morning, I'm Dr. Clark." "But you aren't real," Joanna exclaimed. How did the girl figure it out? Even though the scientist had a reflection in the mirror, he didn't cast a shadow. It was a hologram.